Okay, hi. Okay, since we last talked, I've set up the canvas vertical. I've done that with the clamps, and some odd bits of timber that are hanging around. And it's much more comfortable for me to work vertically. I've also set up the camera that's, every now and again I take a break and take some shots. I'm not sure how well that's going to work because the light is changing all the time and the camera vibrates. So there are two problems I've got to fix. But I'm sure we'll fix that. So today, I thought I'd just run over what I've done. Last thing I looked at last time we talked on Friday, was this sketch gridded up in 1-inch squares. And I multiplied the 1-inch squares by 2.75, and the plan was to transfer them to here. So what I did...
Hang on, I forgot them.
Oh my God, start from the beginning?
No, you can't do that live. Sorry guys, I forgot to put the microphone in. Let me know if that's okay. Ooh, sorry.
Wow. Okay. All right, I'll just explain what we're doing. The canvas is vertical because it's much more comfortable to work that way. And this was the sketch from last Friday, and gridded with 1-inch squares. And I wanted to transfer it to here. So I painted basically 3/4 of the canvas with a pale blue wash, just scrabbled it on. And then I could mark out this grid on here and paint it with Prussian blue, or paint the black background with Prussian blue. I've also darkened it because basically tonight I'm painting an illumination that's coming up inside. So I'm painting an illuminated structure. So I need to paint light on dark. So it's going to start very dark. When I've done a bit, I'll get Freyja to bring the camera over and you can see what I'm doing. But when I paint highlights, what I like to do is use 2 or 3 colours. So I'm starting with a warm colour here, which is a sort of a mauvey colour, and then I'm putting the highlights in at the moment with a light blue. It's not the lightest of light blues I'm going to use, but it's a kind of a lightish blue. And what it does is it shows you where the light's coming from. And to make sure I remembered the direction of the light, I did a pencil sketch on one of the prints. So this shows me what's in shadow and what's illuminated.
People want me to zoom in, so I'm gonna
All right.
I'm gonna go in a little bit.
Okay.
Where should I point to where I should be showing?
About here. Can you come right close, square on?
Oh, I'm making a shadow on it.
Well, put the camera down, it'll be okay.
Can I put it a little bit back again? But maybe here.
It'll be very clear by Wednesday what's going on here. Taking it, we're both taking a little bit on faith at the moment. One of the conceptual differences between painting in watercolour and acrylic or oils is that in watercolour you're painting the dark areas. With acrylic you're painting where the light falls. So in a way it's easier. I think in fact, from my own point of view, I think watercolours are very difficult, non-intuitive process, and it takes skill.
I just missed who asked, but do you listen to music before you work on something to sort of get the right atmosphere and feeling for it? I'm paraphrasing, sorry.
Okay, well, I have said a few times that basically when I'm painting, I tend to listen to something very distracting, like audio tapes. But if I'm feeling that I need to change my mood, lift it a bit, or even calm down, if I've got too much adrenaline in the system, I use music as a moderator, for helping me be in a more meditative state, and also to kind of, okay, snap out of it. This is going to be fun. So yes, I use music before, but I use audiobooks during.
Someone has just said, David has just said it's frozen.
It's what?
It's frozen. Can people let me know if it freezes? I think actually people are commenting again, and it looks like it might just have been that person. Ed Morgan asks, can you add an otter?
An otter? To what?
Your painting, I guess. Thank you, Laura. Laura said it's not frozen. Okay, we're good.
Okay. So add an otter, right? Well, it wasn't something I had in mind.
So if anyone has any other kinds of questions, I will put those to that. Brian Nagel asked if you sign prints that are sent to you.
If what?
If you sign prints that are sent to you.
Well, if they're mine, I guess. Yes. I've not had that happen. If we're selling signed prints, they tend to go out signed. Interesting question.
Roy wants to know, are your trees happy trees?
I guess the question really comes down to, if trees are old and gnarled, are they happy trees? Most trees look most interesting when they've had challenges, so I would say yes, but that doesn't mean they haven't overcome a lot of challenges.
Dave Pillen, I hope I'm saying that right, has asked if you could talk about working with Uriah Heep.
Yeah, I first met them in 70 or 71 or 72, 71 I think. And the first cover I did for them was Demons and Wizards. And that was very problematic for me because before I finished the painting, I went on holiday to Sark and in the Channel Islands. And I had a fall there and I broke my wrist. But there was a gale and I wasn't able to get off the island to get it seen to for 24 hours. So it's kind of uncomfortable. But I had to finish the painting and the lettering with both hands in plaster. As it turned out, I only broke one wrist, but I had both in plaster. So that was the story behind Magician's Birthday. Not Magician's Birthday, Demons and Wizards. Magician's Birthday came incredibly quickly on the heels of that, surprisingly quickly really, and it was I had virtually no notice for that. I said in views that I had to get it done in 24 hours. I can't remember that, but I imagine if I said that, that was probably literally the case.
I'm being asked for regular close-ups. So I'll have a little
Swap places, then you won't cast a shadow.
Kind of looks the same.
Oh well. Oh well.
got a little bit of an avalanche of questions. I'm sorry if I missed lots there, and the names, but someone asked if you ever give up on a painting if it's not working.
There must be some, but I can't think of any offhand. But I can think of paintings that I really love, and I've been working on them for a long time. In another part of my studio, I have a painting that I started work on before Freyja was born, and it's still unfinished. So I've not given up on it, I've just not nailed it. But it is one I'm very much looking forward to doing. So it's, I guess the real answer is no, because they can be fixed. Yeah.
A couple of people asked, do you ever hide anything in your work?
Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be hidden.
Should we leave that there?
Yes. I can tell you for sure that people have found things in my paintings that I didn't realise I put in there.
I'm wondering if I can put the light so you're casting a little bit of shadow on this.
Do you want to put the light the other side of it?
Yeah, let's try that. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
That's better. Someone just commented that picture must be 20 years old then, Freyja. That's right. That's right. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, sorry, I was moving the light around. I'm back. If you guys have questions again, I've got my pen. Oh, Mike wants to know, how long did the original drawing take?
What's original drawing?
I guess for this?
Oh.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, the one that is I gridded up is a photocopy. The original drawing is in my sketchbook and is, to be honest, pretty quick. I recall that there's a fair bit of shading and so on in it, so it wasn't just sketching it out, but maybe an hour, 2 hours, something like that.
Sorry, I missed the name again, but someone said Annie Haslam is a painter. Have you ever met her?
Yes, I know Anne. I like her paintings, by the way.
They're up on your desk now, aren't they? There's one.
You're right, there's a couple on my desk now.
Jerry Palmer has asked if we've collaborated on the same painting before.
Well, I guess the same answer as last time. We did a joint show in Tokyo, and Freyja, why don't you come out and answer that?
Well, what I was going to say was we did one painting. I think he meant like the same actual painting, which we did do once.
No, we've done it several times. Don't forget the Osobisa one and the cherry tree. There's several we've done.
What was the cherry tree?
What was the cherry tree? The one we did in Tokyo.
Oh yeah. We did a live painting together at a family exhibition that we did.
Clearly not memorable.
Well, no, it was brilliant. But I was very adrenalined up, and it didn't last more than about half an hour. So, yeah, that went.
Isn't that up on your website? That painting session?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure. No, it's not on my website. We'll have to find it
Okay.
and put it up. People want to see me. That's embarrassing. Are you are you doing any work for the new Avatar sequels?
Well, I'm going to see. That remains to be seen. However, the answer would have to be not knowingly.
What happens if you make a mistake while you're painting?
Well, it's an interesting thing because I'll show you. There's two things I can do. One is simple, I can just paint it out. But I can also do that and just wash it off. That wasn't a mistake, but I can it's gone. So I can repaint it. And I can do that for up to 5 minutes. After that, I have to paint it out. And I'm using a very tiny brush now, and I have to admit I'm not comfortable with the brush this tiny, but it's for some reason I started with it.
I'm being asked to show myself, and I will do, because actually I've got a question for you guys, but I will do that later on.
Later on today, right?
Later on, yeah, in the session. I'm afraid I am shy, but I will, because I want to ask you guys some stuff. Do you ever travel to destinations to experience the landscapes for inspiration? Tom asks.
God, yeah. Yeah.
You were saying that you wanted to go to Antelope, is it Antelope Canyon?
Yeah. There's lots of places, yes. I mean, I'm not so enthusiastic about hard work climbing mountains, but I used to do it. Mostly walking up them, to be honest, but scrabbling, whatever. Yeah, yes, it's essential. Going to see places that blow you away. It doesn't matter if you've been before either, because the experience is always incredibly creatively invigorating and spiritually important. Yeah. Yes.
There's yeah.
What was that?
Sorry, no, people asking me to come out. I'm very flattered that you're all so curious. If you ask a question, if you keep it a little bit shorter, then I can read it and it's not going to disappear into a continue reading bit, and I can probably see it more easily without it being pushed up so quickly. Okay, Everett asks, have you ever experimented with LSD while painting?
Simple answer to that is no.
Are you saying that because I'm here?
No. The question was, have you ever experimented with LSD while painting? And the truthful answer is no.
Do you find talking to people and answering questions distracting?
Yeah, but in a good way.
I feel like that was a thinly veiled Freyja, stop talking. What is your favourite medium to use on your paintings?
Well, I find acrylic the most flexible. It allows me to do the most different things. In particular, as I mentioned earlier on, I can put glazes, multiple glazes, with transparent acrylic paints. So I like that. It's incredibly forgiving. I can paint this out in minutes. Probably, if I wanted to, I could make that disappear in a couple of coats of paint. I don't want to, but it's very amenable.
And oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
I was going to say before this, not today, but before I finished this painting, I did think I would do some more sketches and do them in oil to see, so you can see the difference between working in acrylic and working in oil. At the same time, I experienced the difference. So what's going on here is it's beginning to get a three-dimensional form. It's beginning to be a place.
Looks good.
Thanks.
Anders asked if your parents are artistic.
Yeah, when we did the show in Tokyo, my Freyja's grandmother had some paintings there. My father was an army engineer, but he did do watercolours, and when he was posted in weird places, I would get, which I don't have now sadly, but I would get letters from him where he'd added watercolour paintings of things he'd seen, usually fish. He was very enthusiastic about snorkeling, so I would get watercolours of fish he'd seen.
Do you ever go to schools to promote art?
Do I ever go to school?
Schools to promote art and I guess do talks and things.
Yes, I get asked occasionally to go and give talks to colleges and schools. Yeah, and I'm very happy to do it when I get asked. Yeah.
How do you feel about people getting tattoos of your work?
Well, I have to say I'm flattered, but not. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea. Not from my point of view, but from their point of view. So, yes, it's something I'm not 100% in favour of.
I think they look great.
That's you, or is that a comment?
No, that's me. So John has asked if we both have favourite artists.
You mean other people?
Hmm?
You mean other people? I don't know what your favourite artist is. What is it? Who?
I don't know. I did go and see an incredible exhibition of Mucha's the Slavic. Oh, I can't remember what the series is called. Do you remember? It's called.
It's the Slav Epic.
The Slav Epic, and that was the most incredible painting I've ever seen in my life. They
It's
were
24
what?
paintings.
Right. Well, I don't know if the full set was there, but I just remember like half a dozen of them were the size of the side of a building.
Yes.
And I don't know how someone did so much in one lifetime.
Yes.
It was amazing. You should say something.
And that was after everything else he did before.
Yeah. That would have been enough for a lifetime, I would have thought. And that was excluding any of the commercial stuff that he did. So I'm quite into him at the moment. But lots of people. I love Leonora Carrington. Really like her. So Hilma af Klint. I really like her paintings. Dad, you should really...
Well, I'm kind of awestruck because these are all names I don't know, except Muko, of course. It was good fun having the publishing company, and I'm looking forward to getting that going again, because it was an opportunity to talk to and publish a lot of paintings of artists whose work I'd admired. Jeff Jones, Michael Kaluta, Storm, but I knew Storm before. Sid Mead was amazing. I mean, Sid Mead was an astonishing futurist and visionary.
Have you ever met Boris Vallejo?
Yeah.
What do you think of Chris Foss? I don't know if they mean personally or artistically.
An old friend, what can I say?
Escher?
Yeah. I think the list of artists that I admire is huge, and I think one day I might risk making a short list, but if I tried to make a short list of 10, I couldn't. It would have to run to hundreds, because I couldn't stand all the ones I'd miss out if I tried to limit it to 10.
I missed the name again. I'm sorry about that. Someone asked, will you be having stage sets that go with this for the next Yes tour?
It would be great to do another tour with stage sets, but the cost of moving them is substantial. And it also limits the number of theatres that they can get them into. So I would say I'd love to do it, but I think it's probably unlikely for this coming tour. But it's not something that we've given up on. You know, we talk about it and think about it a lot.
Someone's asked about the source of light. They're having trouble figuring it out.
Aha.
Actually, it might be more obvious on your drawing as you did that.
Yeah, why don't you have a look at the drawing? Say it's internal. It's kind of in here. A glow from within.
Peter asked, do you use marl stick?
Yes, I do, yes. Are they thinking I should be doing it? I should, actually. I will. I think it's just behind the painting.
How do you feel about people doing tribute paintings, copies of your work for their own personal use?
Well, it's a question of what you do them for. I mean, it's an old tradition in art school that you actually sit down. I mean, one of the things you do life drawing, you do sketching, you do perspective. But one of the things art schools used to teach people to do is copy old masters, because you can learn from doing that. So, you know, there is a tradition for doing that. Right. I'm going to disappear for a couple of seconds, I hope.
What are you after?
The marl stick.
Alan has asked if you flip the canvas occasionally.
If I what?
If you flip the canvas occasionally.
Yes. 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 I would have turned the canvas over doing this painting several times, but because it's fixed, you know, I had to get it relatively stable. Yeah, it's something, it's a big palaver. So I will turn it over at some point and turn it back again. Yeah, I do.
Do you like visiting caves?
Yes, yes. I prefer mountains, but I do like caves, yeah.
I like this one. Who's your favourite Monty Python guy? Paint and talk.
Well, difficult one there. I like John Cleese because I loved Fawlty Towers. Michael Palin I like. And Terry Gilliam, yeah, because he's an artist. So, yeah, that's definitely. Okay, so this is a marl stick, and it's padded at the end with leather. And what happens is you rest it, so you can rest on it and paint, and it allows you all kinds of things. So, it's a very useful thing to do, very useful thing to have. As you can see, though, I was working without it, but I often use it. Okay, Freya, I'm going to start brightening up the bits I've been working on. It might look clearer then about where the light's coming from, but it's still going to require a couple of hours' work for it to be really clear.
Lots of people saying nice things about Paper Tiger books, which is good to hear.
Yeah, Paper Tiger and Dragon's Dream.
Mm. How long did it take you to draw the Yes logo?
Because it's almost a mythic story, I will stick with it. I got on the Brighton Bell thinking about it, and I sat in the restaurant car and had kippers for breakfast, and the journey took just over 55 minutes, and by the time I'd arrived I'd finished it, so it was an hour.
So someone has asked several times, including in caps lock, so I'm compelled to ask, have you ever been to I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Cappadocia, Turkey?
We did a lot of work in Turkey, and we anticipated spending a lot longer working in Turkey, and the expectation and plan was to visit it. But the project in Turkey got cut short, and I never did. And I've never really had the motivation to go back to Turkey. But I would have liked to have seen it.
Did you ever meet Mobius?
No, I didn't. I did have a phone call with him, and he was speaking via a translator, so I can't even say I spoke to him directly. Big fan of his work, though.
Someone asked if you they like your work with Yes and Budgie. Did you get any inspiration? Have you had any inspiration from Shropshire? I think was the question.
From Shropshire?
Yeah, I missed the name. Mum, if that's you, you can ask Dad anytime. Don't know why you're commenting here.
Shropshire's very beautiful, but nearly every time I can recall going to Shropshire, the only painting I remember was directly inspired by Shropshire was pretty much an unknown one I did for Jean-Michel's view over Atlantis.
What about scuba diving?
I've never done it.
Someone asked because they said a lot of your work seems to have an underwater feel.
Ah. Well.
How long do you think this painting's going to take? Was someone's question.
Is that the record company? Well, I don't know. Not long, I don't think. I think what I'm working on now, this part of it at least, will be finished before the end of the week, and I should have made up my mind how I'm going to treat the rest of it in that same time span.
Someone asked if you've ever been to the Yew Forest, Kingley Vale Yew Forest.
No, where's that? Where's Kinley Vale?
Oh, I don't know exactly. I've been. I thought it was great. But I can't remember where it was.
You've been?
Yeah. I went because I needed some pictures of trees. And I think it's, oh God, an incredibly old yew forest. I don't know when from, but the Middle Ages, something like that.
Are you going to show yourself at some point, Fred?
Yeah. What about archaeology and lost civilizations? Is that an inspiration?
Yes. Although, fortunately, the architecture that I love the most can be seen. I mean, I love Gothic cathedrals, and that is a big inspiration for me. Okay, it's beginning to get three-dimensional, but
Shall I show it?
you can bring the camera over.
What are your thoughts on Stonehenge?
Well, when I was a kid, we used to live in, my dad was based in Bulford, and we used to go past it on a regular basis, and it wasn't all fenced in then like it is now. I used to think it was amazing. Yeah.
A lot of people are asking, what do you think of the work of Alex Gray?
Alex Gray? I'd have to look that up.
What's this?
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Laura showed me some. Yeah, amazing.
Do you wear a hat?
Not often. Okay.
Okay.
Freya's been avoiding this moment all evening.
I'm going to come on screen like a door-to-door salesman with lots of things to show you all. responses at the same time. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna come on so you can see, which means I can't see your comments. But I do want to ask you guys a question, so I'm going to come on, I'm going to ask you some questions, and then if you could give me like a minute or 30 seconds to get back behind the camera so I can see your responses. Can I take your spot here? Did you move that paint that's just there? So since I've been back, I've been playing around with some of Dad's designs on different kinds of things. So we've got the mugs on the site. I can show you these. And we've had these sort of tea towels made up as well. I want to do t-shirts and clothes and lots of different things. But I just thought I'd show you these because they're really good examples of like a print just in full colour on a bit of fabric. But I just want to know really what you guys would like to see in the shop, what kind of things you're interested in. Do you like the patterns? Do you like the paintings? Do you think things on fabric, clothing or objects would be good? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm genuinely just curious about what you'd like, so we can think about what we could produce and put up there that you would want. I think these are pretty fabulous. You like these, didn't you?
I like them, but I like your prints. I think you should have shown people your prints.
You can follow me on Instagram if you want to see my
There you
if
go.
you want to see my stuff. But yeah, just green with the grey. You like the green with the grey? Okay, so actually the grey is blue. Bandanas. We've got 2 bandanas. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back through these. I have the mugs and would like some plates. Okay, oh god, I've got to get my notebook. Hanging silk scroll posters. Plates. Paintings and patterns on shirts. I've just done a blue tiger shirt, which hopefully I'll be getting soon, and I'll show you that. Ties, plates, silk scroll print, t-shirts, throw pillows. Oh, this is brilliant. Thank you guys. I really, really appreciate this. Face masks. I hear you. So the website that we order things from did have face masks and they've sold out now. But there might be a way of getting, maybe they'll come back in stock or we can think of something. Phone cases. This is brilliant. Thank you guys so much. This is really, really helpful. Mugs and t-shirts. Budgie on a mug. Okay. I think dragonfly on a t-shirt. Roger Dean's signature waistcoats. Hey, maybe we could do like waistcoats with one of your patterns as the lining. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Tote bags. Sofa cushions. Wow, brilliant guys. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. I might mock some stuff up now and again and show you and see what you think of it. Again, I'm not doing this because I'm really trying to do a hard sell on you guys. I just genuinely, it's really fun making this stuff up, and I think there should be more, you know, beautiful versions of everything, and I really like those patterns. Okay, mugs, phone cases. Okay, well, brilliant. This is mouse pads. Oh my gosh, okay. Lots of people are into your waistcoats. Yoga pants.
Can't
You're
have them.
a style icon.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's always been my ambition.
Pillowcases, sheets, bedspreads, ties. I need ties. Excellent. Curtains.
Are we okay on time?
That's a good question. No, not really. I'll give you one more minute.
Okay. Well, basically, I'm going to take that over. This part of the painting should be done in the next 24, 48 hours. So when we meet on Wednesday, this should be complete, and I'll be working on something else. I've been asked if we would...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, come right on. I've been asked if I would finish off the 2 hand-finished prints, and I think when we're a bit further advanced on that, we'll revisit that. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for all your patience and watching us do all the screw-ups and some painting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you for all of your ideas as well. That's really, really helpful. And I'll go through all of these afterwards. Yarmulkes. Wow, never thought of that. Are you looking at me like you don't know what that is?
Yeah.
Like the caps, the Jewish, those caps that you wear.
Ah, okay.
We'll have to find a manufacturer.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.